need you to understand one component to investing. You're probably familiar with buying a company, investing in a fund because you think it'll be worth more in the future. That's called going long. That's what most of us are doing. But there's another side to that trade, and it's called going short, long and short. When you are short a company, you are pessimistic about it. You think that the price is going to go down, and there's So by now you have probably heard about what's going on Wall Street and with GameStop and AMC and their stocks. And if not, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. And if you have and you're not sure what's going on, I'm going to give you a quick rundown as well. Trying to keep this short and to the point without a lot of fluff and just let you know what's going on. But before we can get to the story about why GameStop and AMC have shot up in value and what's going on, I need you to understand one component to investing. You're probably familiar with buying a company, investing in a fund because you think it'll be worth more in the future. That's called going long. That's what most of us are doing. But there's another side to that trade, and it's called going short, long and short. When you are short a company, you are pessimistic about it. You think that the price is going to go down, and there's a way for you to profit off of that. And what you do is you basically go to your custodian, to your broker, TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, you name it, and you borrow stock. So in this example, I'm going to borrow your share of a stock. It's trading today at $10. I think it should be worth $3. I borrow your stock, I go sell it for $10. And my plan is I'm going to buy that stock back when it goes down to $3 or goes lower. I'll give you your stock back and I keep the difference between 10 and 3. So I make $7 on that trade when it went down. Now, I don't personally like that because there's just something about benefiting from a company going down in price, not doing well, I don't like. I want to see people growing, not people failing, and I don't want to profit off of a fail, me personally. But there is a role for short selling. It does keep the long side of the trade honest. So if you're not reporting right numbers, or if a stock really shouldn't be where it's at, then a short seller can come in and they can help correct that price and drive things down. So understand short selling, because that is what caused all of this. You borrow a stock, you go sell it with the intent of buying it back at a lower price to make money. A lot of funds do this, and the beginning of this began with GameStop. It started on a Reddit thread. So Reddit is a message board, if you're not familiar with that. And there was a group in there that was researching what hedge funds owned and what they were short. And they discovered that a hedge fund was very heavily short GameStop. So that's the store where you could go and buy and sell games, buy new, buy used. They're in malls. They're not doing very well. A lot of games are streaming now. So the case could be made that it's not going to do very well. Think Blockbuster versus Netflix. Not a guarantee, but that's the theory behind it. So this group of investors on Reddit determined that they were going to go against that hedge fund, and they were going to work together to buy more GameStop to drive the price up. So if we go back to the example, borrow yours at 10, sell it, buy it back at 3, I keep the difference. What happens if it goes from 10 to 15? Well, to close out that position, to no longer be short, I have to go back and pay $15 to give you your $10 stock back, and I'm out $5. When things keep on going up, I keep on losing more and more money. So the risk to going short is technically your loss is undefined. It's infinite, because that $10 stock could go to 20, could go to 30, could go to 100, could go to 1,000, 100,000, and I have to buy it back at a higher price. So that's the risk to being short. So as this Reddit investment group and other people piled on, you see the price of GameStop rising. Every dollar, every penny that GameStop is rising, the hedge funds are losing money. And eventually they all got the price going up very significantly, where they were down billions of dollars on the hedge fund side. Billions. So at a certain point, a short seller says, all right, this is going against me. I'm losing way too much money. I'm bleeding here. I've got to get out of this trade. How do you get out of that trade? You've got to go buy the stock back, right? So if you have all of these people coming in to buy more, supply and demand just drives the stock price up even more. So you have what's called a short squeeze. The short seller's coming back in, and it pops the price off to the next level. So you had a GameStop stock go from $4 to over 400, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but it was that drastic. It was up 100% in one day. All from this group buying to go against the hedge funds, and then the hedge funds popping back in. So that's kind of the beginning of the story, and that was before today. The next level of this story is you have all of these average investors, people on Main Street going against Wall Street, Today you have companies like Robinhood and TD Ameritrade and other brokers telling their investors they can no longer buy or sell GameStop, AMC, and a couple other stocks are involved as well. It's too risky is what they've said. They're trying to protect their investors. Meanwhile, in the background, you have these stocks plummeting, which probably means that there is institutional money, hedge fund money, buying and selling in the background, trying to fix this while the average investors who caused this to run up, right or wrong, caused this run up, can't get out of their stocks. So they're down 60, 80% with nothing to be able to do. So we had something that started off with potentially market manipulation, but small investors getting one over on the big guys. Wall Street doesn't like that. The funds don't really like that. But the average investor is happy to see that happen. It gives them a little bit of control. The thought is Wall Street's been doing this for years. This is our chance to win one over. We beat them at their game on this one. You have that being the start. And then to make that worse, you have what will probably be conspiring in the background to shut those investors out while they lose a lot of money so the funds that are hurting can fix themselves. It's going to get ugly. I feel like we're living a movie. This makes me think of something that we'll see on a Big Short type of like a movie. I don't think the outcome will be the same, leading to a financial crisis, but there will be probably some lawsuits. There will probably be some arrests, and maybe even on both sides. I don't want to paint the picture that the Reddit crew was not doing something that wasn't allowed, not allowed to manipulate the markets. Even though you might want to make the case that Wall Street's been doing that for years, there's still rules against manipulating prices. And unfortunately, I think some people on the Reddit side might get in some trouble with some of the things that went on there. But then on the other side, you're going to have those investors being shut out and other investors. And this is the sad part. You have investors that see this and they want to participate in it as well. And they get in Reddit yesterday, or they get into GameStop yesterday. And then they get locked out today and they're down 80% and they've lost all this money, not knowing what they could do, not being able to do anything. So this is just the very, very beginning. The short end of the story is you had hedge funds placing bets for companies to go down. You had a team of investors on Reddit identify what companies were short what stocks, go against them, buy those up, drive the price up to cause them to lose money. They made a lot of money along the way. Then you have those hedge funds try to cover their positions, drive the price up even more. And then today you have investors locked out of their accounts, not being able to buy and sell those trades, being forced to bleed money on their end because the stocks are down 60, 70, 80%. Not very pretty, not in investment world's finest moment, but it's what's going on. And a lot of people are talking about it, and I think it's only going to become more common now that you've had Robinhood and those things, those other companies shut down access to trading. So this saga is just beginning. We'll probably see some regulatory things come out of this, but it'll be very interesting. But that is the GameStop, AMC, and a couple other stocks story. That's what's going on. If you're investing in a diversified portfolio, you probably have very little exposure to this. This highlights why investing in individual stocks can be risky. And then when you go into something like this, it's even more risky. That does not mean that the people who bought GameStop and AMC that are experiencing losses today deserve that, because that's not what I'm saying. But that's the risk that comes with it. It's not right that Wall Street gets to shut things down to fix things up, but it's also not surprising. Wall Street is Wall Street first. They're going to do the things that protect them, and they're not putting us average investors first. So I don't know if this is the beginning of a new way of investing, having new companies open up that do not take away the right, that are not Wall Street companies that come from somewhere else. But I feel like a lot of the us versus them mentality that we saw in other areas in the U.S., politics in other areas, has now moved onto Wall Street. It'll be very interesting to see how it plays out. But that's that saga. As more happens, I'll do another video to bring you up to date. But I got a few text messages, some emails, some jokes along the way about what's going on. So that's what's going on. That's why GameStop is up so much, and it's in the news right now. And every financial station is tracking this saga. So stay tuned. There will be more to come. But I hope that answers your question about what's going on with GameStop and AMC. Have a great day. Think about your investing. Maybe don't think about it. Be diversified. Keep it simple, and you can avoid all this headache. But it definitely is a great entertainment story. I never watched CNBC, and I have it on right now just to see what's going on. So that's it. Have a great one, and we'll see you with an update when there's one to have.